interviewing Tim Brown. Got a great question for you. Share about H2H and what that means and what you're trying to do with that.
Yeah. So when I was getting ready to go into the Hall of Fame, I was informed that I was only the 9th guy to win the Heisman and be in the Hall of Fame, be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and that was an unbelievable deal for me, man. But my immediate thoughts sort of went to, hey, if I can leave a legacy like that on the field, what can I do off the football field? And can I get these other guys who join in with me to do something? And that's what we tried to do, and I think that's what we're trying to accomplish right now. And so the HCH documentary you're going to see is really the beginning of us reaching out to the public, and thankfully we have people like Prudential to come in and be our presenting sponsor, and that's what we want to do. We want to attract more companies, be able to raise more funds to be able to get back in the community. So that's what we're trying to accomplish.
I'd like to ask you a follow-up question. Are there any initiatives that you're working with H2H?
Well, I think at this particular point, when we first started, there were a lot of natural disasters and things like that going on. But, what we realized is, there are a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of stuff going on. And, I play in a lot of golf tournaments, Marcus Allen, Charles Woodson, and going around to these golf tournaments, you see the incredible stuff that they're doing in the communities where another $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 could really help them. It puts us in a position where we don't have to do the big deal. Yes, we did a deal with Red Cross. That's going to be incredible for us going forward. But, to go see what a Brian Dawkins is doing in Philadelphia and to be able to help him out is stuff that we want to be a part of.
Excellent, Tim. I want to talk a little bit about your college career at Notre Dame. You and Charles Woodson, Charles Woodson went to Michigan and you went to Notre Dame. How is that rivalry? The rivalries every year. How do you feel about that rivalry?
I hated Michigan because we had a hard time beating Michigan when I was there. But you always had a lot of respect for them because the guys were great football players, had great coaches the whole time we were playing against them. So it was always a very interesting weekend for us. But, Charles and I, we joke a lot at each other about each other's universities, but there's a lot of respect there, man. I think that's what it's all about, is really being respectful, being competitive, but respectful. And I think we were able to get that done. So.
Excellent, Tim. How'd you get the nickname Touchdown Timmy?
Scored a couple touchdowns, brother. You know what I mean? Maybe not as many as I would like, but at the same time, we got some things done. And the guy, when it happened my junior year, and I made this incredible play, scored a touchdown, and the announcer at the stadium said, "Touchdown Timmy," and that was it. After that, people had T-shirts and all kinds of stuff. So it stuck with me for a while.
Do you have a funny story when you played at Notre Dame or when you were in the NFL? Can you share a little bit about that?
A funny story. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't know how funny it was then, but it ended up being something I can look back on and laugh about. The very first time I touched the ball in college, I fumbled the opening kickoff. Fumble, like drop the ball and didn't even know I had dropped it, right? That kind of fumble. Right. Just lose it, And so, people were like, maybe this kid from Dallas should have stayed in Dallas. But I tell them I like to set the bar low for what I was going to do later on, right? So, being able to win the Heisman, that was a tale of two tales, right? Going from dropping a fumble to open the game to fumbling the ball to winning the Heisman. But the real story is the first time I touched the ball in the NFL, I scored on a 97-yard touchdown.
Wow.
Kick return. So I love telling those two stories because that's a tale of two different guys right there.
Did you have any teammates, funny, any teammates that were funny when you played that you want to share?
Yeah, but a lot of them NFL stories, I can't tell what happened in the locker room, right? But, guys would do crazy stuff, man. In training camp, we had guys who would go by little pet rats and drill a hole through the door the room next to them and put the rats in people's rooms and dead fishes in beds. It was all kinds of crazy stuff, man. But that's the PG stuff, I can tell you.
Yeah. Super Bowl 57. What do you got?
Should be a great game, man. You know, I really believe this Philadelphia team is loaded, and you know, I think, you know, they should win this game or will win this game. But if there's a shot for Patrick Mahomes to get something done, I think he'll find a way to make that happen.
You got a favorite NFL city that was your favorite when you played?
City?
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoyed Oakland. I think Oakland was great. I mean, L.A. is bigger and all that stuff. I had a lot of family in L.A., but once we got to Oakland, I mean, things just sort of settled down a lot. You know what I mean? So maybe because I got married then too. So
yeah.
maybe that was a problem. but yeah, it was a great time for me, no doubt.
What do you think the Raiders need to do in order to get to a Super Bowl?
They got a lot to do, man. Look, my kids, when we played in the Super Bowl, the last one they played in, we lost, but my kids were born like 2 hours after the game. So I had to get on the jet to get back up to Oakland for the birth of my twins. And so every year at their birthday, I'm always reminded the Raiders have not been to the Super Bowl. They're 20 years old now. You know what I mean? And the Raiders haven't been back. So, you know, hopefully they can get back soon, man. It's going to be some work. They got some work to do, but hopefully they can make it happen.
What's the best piece of advice you ever received, Tim?
To be Timmy and not be Tim Brown. You know what I mean? You know, this Tim Brown guy does this kind of stuff, right? Timmy is sitting at home in the man cave, chilling, you know what I mean? And not trying to, you know, be anybody special, but just trying to be the best person you could possibly be.
Did you have a favorite player growing up?
Yeah, I'm a Dallas Cowboy guy, so I grew up in Dallas. So Tony Dorsett was my guy, Roger Staubach, Tony Hill, Drew Pearson. I loved all those guys, so yeah.
Thanks for your time, Timmy.
Hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. All right, great job.
Thanks.